life was completely bungled because the whole electrical circuitry had gone and all electricity was off everywhere. So incidentally, I was wearing a very beautiful Zara dress, their latest collection, called the Vampire's Edit, and I took it off. I was about to make this really interesting influencer video for H&M. And if you want, check out their edit, Vampire's Wife Edit. It's quite interesting, and I liked it a lot, that dress. You should check out the last video, but I put it off. Okay, I took it off. So we spoke about dispositions. We spoke about the aspects, and I think now we're going to talk about some other planetary aspects. Okay, some of the other things that are happening in the sky with the other luminaries. Okay, so we've got a lot of squares that are happening off the top of the path. So we have to understand and integrate the energies of the square if you are going to be, crack this lunation. So there is, of course, Mercury square Mars. And the thing with squares is you've got to know the relationship between planets. So, in Vedic astrology, we have enemy planets and friendly planets. So, if you apply that ideology to this, you will see that Mercury and Mars are actually enemies. So they do not get along, and they will not, it's not going to be a very productive square with Mercury square Mars. Okay. Mercury is also conjunct Jupiter. We must remember that Mercury and Jupiter are also enemies. You can see this relationship expounded when you realize that Jupiter always rules the signs of Mercury's detriment. Okay, and Mercury's fall as well, Pisces. Right? So, Mercury and Jupiter are not friends. Then we've got Mercury conjunct Saturn. Now, Mercury and Saturn are friends. So, this is a good workable relationship. And this conjunction can help us solve a lot of problems and communicate difficult things. It's possible. Alright, now we've got Mercury square Uranus. Now, Uranus not being a traditional Vedic planet, we have to look elsewhere for some significations. In esoteric astrology says that Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So, there's this really beautiful mind-opening energy with this one that I sense. Venus is trying Uranus, which is an applying aspect. So when you look to the aspects, you look to the aspects that are applying. So then you immediately realize that, okay, these are the aspects I need to pay more attention to. Right? Now, Mars is square Jupiter. Now, Mars and Jupiter are good friends. Of course, you have to realize that they co-rule the triplicities, the fire triplicities. So, Mars and Jupiter are good friends. Okay, they correspond with one another. They exchange good energy. So, this square, yes, it could be difficult. Mars is in Taurus, that deals with food and sustenance and all of that, and Jupiter being in Aquarius, which is really very much about optimization, as well as more so about innovation, something new. So I see with this square something nice happening because these guys are friends. Now, Mars is square Saturn. This is a neutral energy in Vedic astrology, but there could be quite a lot of volatility and friction with this square. Mars again in Taurus, Saturn again in its home sign of Aquarius. You have to realize Mars is not as strong as Saturn is in this equation. Okay, so that's something to think about. Plus, it's a day chart. So Saturn, anyways, cemented himself, has augured his energies. All right. Now, Jupiter square Uranus. So the influence of this is actually pretty expansive, because when you think about Jupiter being our ideology, of our, uh, philosophies, and Uranus being like the spiritual epiphany, you do see that there's a lot more to this energy than, than expected. Mars, Jupiter square Uranus. Saturn is also, of course, applying a square to Uranus, and that is, I would say, I don't necessarily see it as a clash between the old and the young, although that's many astrologers have said, and in the past, I felt that, but I somehow feel the planetary energy of Saturn and Aquarius is very, very futuristic. And I do feel that Saturn has a plan this time, a super solid plan that he has hatched while he's activated this air triplicity. So that's something to think about. Now, squares. We have to discuss squares, because it's just not about me telling you that, okay, this is square that is square this. You could be feeling weird, or you could be losing money. But we have to understand the astrology to truly integrate it within. Okay, don't forget, as above, so below. That's why we are doing this. We are a replica of the macrocosm in this microcosmic body. Energy is very hard. That's the first thing you've got to remember about a square, that the energy is very, very hard, and it can feel like the planets are at war. Okay, that's what a square signifies. So if you look at how squares are to be approached, then you will see that you do not need eyes of ego, or a mind full of toxic ego when you approach a square, and it can be diabolical. Okay, but you have to realize that squares will make you intuit the necessity of sacrifice. That's so very important in today's day and age. The importance of sacrifice. And that is ultimately what squares are teaching us. Which planet will sacrifice? What is the ideology that will be sacrificed? Is it working for the greater good of humanity? Is it working for, everything ultimately is working towards the greater good? That is something we've got to realize is an esoteric axiom. So, we have to realize that. Now, squares cause friction between two personality types. So, you've got to see all these beings that are squaring, Mercury squaring Mars, and you've got to see the inner archetype, that's the personality of Mercury in the sign of Aquarius. Okay, you've got to see how Mars operates in the sign of Taurus. Now, coming up to fixed squares are the hardest squares to integrate. Okay, the modality by itself, it's fixed. It does not understand change. And squares are always pushing us towards change. That is something we need to understand. Now the moon is in sidereal Sagittarius 2131. Okay, and the moon still is 21. All right, this is Al-Baldah, Albaldah, which spans from 16 Capricorn tropical placements, 16 Capricorn to 4 of Aquarius. Okay, Al-Baldah. This mansion is in the fourth quarter of the heavens, and it promotes the flight of servants, this mansion, and captives. Okay, so good time for prison break. If you've been illegally incarcerated or held against your own will, then it's a good time to escape. Okay, captives can escape. Even the energy here is possibly like, how kidnappers are held by their kidnappees are held by people who kidnap them, and then ultimately there comes moment in time when they can escape, and they just suddenly escape and they find that escape out. This is that energy, Al-Baldah. Okay, Now, good for prison break, helps curing of diseases. So if there's anything that's been chronically ailing you, especially to do with saturnine things, okay, like back pain, spasms, varicose veins, okay, anger, all of this, arthritis. This is a Saturn affliction, arthritis, even stomach, Saturn afflictions. Could be Mars also, Mars, Saturn, Uranus as well. So what we need to understand is good for divorce, not good for marriage. This Albalda. This mansion, the magic that Picotrix speaks of in this mansion is done for destruction. Okay, I do not suggest this kind of harmful magic, but because I'm studying the Picotrix in great detail and regularly drawing from it, I love the Picotrix. But astrological mages back then did a lot of harmful magic as well. So I do not support this, but this is for educational purposes only. So when the moon, this manzil is used for destruction, like I told you. So when the moon is in this manzil, says the Picotrix, fashion the image of a man having two faces. Very freaky. I saw this in American Horror Story. One face facing forward and one face here looking backward. Okay. Um, and one is behind. Sense it with sulfur and karab, which is ground beetle. I do not support using animals in my rituals. I don't even use ghee, being a Hindu, in my ritual because I think it's cruel. And the time of ghee and Vedachar is gone now. It's a new world and we have to adapt to new things. Okay, so I'm not going to put ground beetle and suffumigate this destructive image. No, I'm not going to do that. Uh, Say, you beg to leave the place where you are and destroy them. Then place the image in a small bag. Place sulfur with it along with some hair of your enemy, of course. Bury it in the place that you wish. Should not be disturbed, of course. And it shall be as you have requested. And know this, that Bektu is the name of the Lord of this mansion, Al-Balda. Bektu is Bectue. Okay, so it's a baleful Lord. It's a destructive energy. So I would never suggest summoning Bektu, who resides in Al-Balda. Now, where are we? Okay, so now let's get to the Vedic discussion and then we do the tarot for each signs. Now, the sun and the moon are in Uttara Ashada. Okay, and this is happening in sidereal Sagittarius, as I told you. So it's the 2904, so we keep that 29 degrees of sidereal Sagittarius at Dhanu Rashi. It's 21st nakshatra. Incidentally, Al-Balda was also the 21st moon mansion. 21st nakshatra, ruling planet being the sun. The sun also rules in the triplicity system, the last decan of this lunation. Because the sun is very important and the sun is in a Saturn sign. All right. So something went in my eye and I seem to squish my eye. Okay, I hope I've not messed up my makeup. All right. Now we've got the symbols: elephant's tusk and a small bed. These are symbols to meditate on. Strong influence of Jupiter. Strong influence of Jupiter. And deity is Vishwadeva. Okay, dosha is kapha, air problems, okay, acidity, gas, and all these kinds of problems. Kapha dosha. So if you've just had a baby, okay, on this particular day, 12th and 13th, any of these days, the whole tithi, 24 hours, then you know this, that he or she will be gorgeous, bright-eyed, with glowing complexion, born under the Uttara Ashada Nakshatra. She or he will be refined, pure-hearted and innocent. If it's a he will recognize the power of women. Okay. If it is a she will have the most beautiful teeth and magnetic eyes, but hair can be scanty. And I've seen this in my experience with Uttarashada natives. Hair can be scanty. So, whatever you need to do, oil or, whatever you need to do this. If you have a daughter born on this day, so the mythology of Ganesha or Ganpati is actually connected to this nakshatra Uttara Ashata. Okay, and this is the birth star of Ganpati. So it's very sacred. Now I want to break down the Ganpati symbolism for you, so you better meditate on these that very day. Take a printout of Ganpati. If you don't have a small idol, you can get yourself an idol. The large ears symbolize listening more, talking less, listening more. Okay, because when you really start to listen, you can listen to the voice of silence, as Blavatsky puts it, or the pranava, the nada inside. Okay, so axe. Ganpati has an axe. Axe is a symbol of cutting off attachments, like the vajra, like the sword, also in the tarot, is a symbol of cutting off attachments. Small mouth, talk less. Big ears, listen more. Uh, he gives you the blessings like this, Ganpati, and this is actually the blessing to take you to the Brahman, to the ultimate truth. For that is what Ganpati signifies. Okay, large stomach, so digest the good and the bad. Okay, the both. You need to digest, you need to purge what's toxic, you need to keep what's important, what's soul fulfilling. All right, prasada, ask and you shall receive. The prasada of Ganpati in front is ask and you shall receive. Okay, big head, think big. Small eyes, focus. Okay, focus on the task at hand. Rope, rope is to elevate. The energy of Ganpati will elevate you to higher levels. One task is keep what's needed, disperse of what's not needed. Trunk, high efficiency and adaptability. Elephants are known to be very, very intelligent. Our ancients knew that. That is why Ganpati has the head of an elephant, of course, because of his intelligence. Uh, Modaka, which is a sweet he holds in his hand, is a reward of sadhana. If you invoke Ganpati correctly, you will be rewarded. Okay? Mouse. He has a mouse as a totem. The mouse is a symbol of desire, and Ganpati is there to help you conquer desire. Okay, control it. Okay, we cannot quite ever conquer it, because this whole realm, this whole world is the product of desire of the Godhead. So we can never do away with desire. It is Lakshmi's energy, it is Raja's guna, it is Ichha Shakti. Okay, so we can never do away with desire. We know how to work with it so it does not become all consuming. Okay, now it is said that if one this nakshatra will take one to fame, okay, and solidify your career. Why? Because this spreads from sidereal dhanu, which is Sagittarius, which signifies higher education, and it stretches to Capricorn, which symbolizes authority. So higher education, once learned, takes you to a position of authority. My grandfather always said that Uttarashadha was one nakshatra which would take you to supremacy or mastery always. All right, having the sun in pada 1 of this Sagittarius Navamsa, this is Dhanu Navamsa, is very potent and very beneficial. However, this Uttarashadha is a fixed nakshatra, and we see the in the tropical system so much of fixed squares happening now. Supreme victory is what my dadu would say, that Uttarashadha gives you supreme victory. Now, he would take me to the crack of dawn at a peepal tree, right? And we would carry Ganga Jal, some modak, some jaggery, some little rice, uncooked, some Ganga Jal, and we take this and we would go to the peepal tree, because whenever the moon goes to Uttarashadha, praying to a peepal tree or just invoking the energy of a peepal tree is very precious. So the mantra for the peepal tree is Om Chaitanya Ashwatthaya Sharanam. Om Chaitanya Ashwatthaya Sharanam. Ashwatthaya Sharanam. Ashwatha is the Indian name of people. So I give you a mantra for the sidereal sign, the sidereal moon sign. Okay, since this is in sidereal Sagittarius, Dhanu in Sagittarius, Navamsa, I will give you the moon sign mantra for sidereal Sagittarius. If you are sidereal Sagittarius, chanting this will greatly help you tune into higher vibrations and frequencies. So this is Om Reem Kleem Sao. Om Reem Kleem Sao. Om Reem Kleem Sao. Okay, everybody can practice chanting this that day. Now, some Ganpati mantras that I have for you, the Ganpati Gayatri is uh, okay. Now, let me tell you about Jupiter, because this is ultimately Uttara Ashada is ruled by Jupiter. So it's the sun, and there's a lot of Jupiterian significance here. So we are going to say Sagittarius, after all, ruled by Jupiter, right? So in the Navagraha Stotram, we have the invocation of Jupiter. Devatana Rishinancha Gurum Kanaka Sannivang Vandya Bhutang Trilokeshan Tam Namami Brihaspatim. Okay, this is his Navagraha invocation. And his seed sound is Om Grang Green Grom Sah Gurave Namaha. So if you do the Gayatri, and or if you just basically invoke him with that invocation, Devatanam Shinanja Gurum Kanaka Sannivang Vandya Bhutang Trilokeshan Tang Namami Brihaspatim, and chant Om Grang Green Grom Saha Gurave Namaha, and you keep chanting this 108 times. It's going to be very productive. You can chant the Mula mantra of this sign, which is sidereal Sagittarius, Dhanu. You can say Om Reem Kleem Sao. So these are very good mantras for this particular day to to know that you will finally get the true benefit, the correct planetary rays. That's what's important. Now let's do tarot quickly. I was going to do a long one video, and then my electrical circuitry went off, so I had to cut my last video, and I changed. And as I changed, the electricity came back. Really annoying, but what to do? So we have Aries. Aries, let's see what Spirit wants you to know. Om Reem Kleem Sao. Om Reem Kleem Sao. Om Reem Kleem Sao. So we have the Three of Swords in reverse. This tells me that there is a very painful situation, Aries, for you. Maybe you're waiting on somebody, maybe someone's waiting on you, but you're unable to contact them because you have other things and other situations that you've still not dealt with. And having that Chiron there, it's quite complicated, Aries. So I send you love. You've got to step away if you think it's not working out, and it's not going to lead to a good place, and you already have commitments. I think you should let it go. Taurus, let's see what we have for you. Wow, we've got the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is about you setting up your pieces, but being prepared for another attack. You've been battered, you've been bruised, but be prepared for another attack because they're coming for you, Taurus. And honestly, with all this Uranus squaring everybody from Taurus in the fixed signs are gonna see quite a lot of turbulence in January. Okay, we've got Gemini, we've got the Gemini, an apt card, Two of Wands, which is a duality. Gemini is a sign of twins. So it's like you're waiting for something, literally, but don't wait for it. This is a gateway that's opening up for you. So why not walk through the gateway? Okay, no one's going to invite you, just walk through it now. And you will see that all the work and everything that you put out there, it's going to concretize into something solid. Okay, now Cancer, this is of course your polarity. How cool is that? We've got the King of Swords. Now, this is interesting because the King of Swords appears in a reading when you do need clarity of thought, clarity legally maybe, okay, because there's just a lot going on with things, and you may not have all the information. So somebody comes along and really helps you. That's what Spirit is telling me, Cancer. Leo, what can we expect for you, Leo? And that is the Four of Swords again. So we've got so much in air. A lot of air cards are coming up. So it's time to rest. It's time to just, wait a bit before you make your next move. Maybe take some time off, because this is, after all, your sixth house, of health and all that. So you could be, feeling the toil of something. Now Virgo, fifth house, good, not bad. And we got the King of Wands, somebody fire sign that comes with a lot of passion, but also a lot of arrogance. Okay, but a lot of creativity, possibly something that you've been creatively engaging with now comes full cycle, and it could be profound. Libra, this is good when it's reversed, because you have all these options and you've been like scattering your energy everywhere, but now you're going to finally be feeling like all that fog is dispersing, and you're like finally able to see through it all, and okay, this is what I gotta fix myself on, this is what I gotta do. Scorpio, let's see what we have for you, Scorpio. Whoopsie, we had something quite interesting for Scorpio, I'm sure. Yes, and we had the Knight of Pentacles. So it's almost like a Taurian energy that is coming through. This is Spirit is telling me, somebody new possibly, and somebody Taurian, and there's just a lot of dominance with this one, or arrogance possibly, but there's a good chance that something stable could come out of this, Scorpio. Okay, so just keep that in mind, something stable. Your ruler is also in Taurus, so I mean it's going to go into Taurus on the 6th of Jan, and we start all these fixed square activation. So that was Scorpio Sagittarius. This is interesting because for you this is going to be about finding a healer sort of an energy, or if you're really looking at launching some sort of creative business, it looks to be the right time. Also, this new moon is in your 2nd house, so you can always make that intention and you can manifest something there. Now that was Sag, right? Capricorn, this is of course your gig, so what can we expect for you? And we've got the Page of Wands, which is again about something creative, something just sowing. Pages are new, like the new moon, something creative that's brewing in your mind, something you want to do. It could also be a text you want to send, or a proposal that you need to send. So overall it could be your kid as well. Of course, for many Capricornian people, it could be your kid who's a fire sign, and there's just a lot of engaging with your kid. Aquarius. So Aquarius, this is again literally you moving away from turbulence, but there is still some stuff that needs to be faced. You're not scot-free yet, so don't presume to be. And Pisces, let's break it out for you. You've got Three of Wands, which is amazing because everything is tripartite in nature, triadic, three sixes and nines. The cosmic mysteries embedded in these numbers. So this is definitely a sort of a Trinitarian expression of creativity, Pisces, that I see. And it could mean socializing, it could mean like, going out, but remember there's of course a lot of interaction with the threes, and there's a lot of, back and forth. There's a lot of new experiences that threes bring forth, actually, if you ask me, and they balance it out also. We think of couples or twos as balancing, but then twos also duality, and then something extra is added and the three comes along and somehow creates a bit of alchemy, and we have the Trinitarian, the trine, and we know that trigons are so special. So that was all the 12 astrological signs in their tarot. Please watch part 1 for detailed astrology, Hellenistic as well as Vedic astrology reports. I was going to make one video, but I had an electrical circuitry that blew up. So, I was immersed in darkness while I was making the last video. And then I thought that, okay, today definitely I don't think the electrical thing is going to be restored. And then it was restored just as I took off my beautiful Zara dress, that H&M, sorry, that was H&M, the other one was Zara. So this H&M dress, if you're interested, I will tell you a lot about it. It's from the Vampires Edit collection, and it was really beautiful. Okay, I'm going to make a small little video and show it to you. But please practice the mantras that I gave you. Hopefully tomorrow I'll make a ton of videos on Ganpati invocation and different things. I've just got so much content I want to make. Please support the channel in any way, and thank you to all the 7 people that donated today because of my message. Thank you so much, because it takes a lot to get these astrological reports out with all of this information, and I would like to spend more time on YouTube creating content, because that's something I really enjoy. So I have so much content to do. So kindly support if you like this channel, and if you like the work that I do, kindly support in any way, and book your own reading. This Capricorn lunation is so perfect to book your own reading. So see you soon, and if I can, I'll do some more videos later, but if not, then tomorrow for sure. Thank you so much. Bye.